green. Let's see, let's try just a little more green in it. And you'll get the point where you'll learn how to do this real fast and lay in your color real fast. And you don't worry about the clouds, pooey on the clouds at this point. You worry about that basic sky color.
Now, would you ever, if you didn't like the sky color, just change it and make some other color, or
sure.
do you try to stay true to?
No, I'm an innovator all the way. And many times I don't like the sky color. I don't want it to be blue all the time. I want it to be some other color. I want something else in with it. And I'll do that very thing with this before I get through. So, and you'll see that that will happen. But anyway, you get this basic color laid on, and the first color you lay on isn't necessarily your last color that you'll put on that area. You know, you'll come back maybe and do it some more, and I'm sure we will with this. So let's just let it break and change in color somewhat.
That's not a problem at all, huh?
No, it's no problem. All right, now and I work back into the last color I've used generally. Now as it comes down, that sky gets a little lighter, quite a bit lighter, so I will start working some of that in.
Just by mixing some more white in.
And more white into that same mixture, see? And that will work real fine now. And I don't worry about any detail whatsoever in this first go around. I'm just getting this on where I think I'm going to need it, and hopefully that I'm getting it in the right places. If it isn't, why, I'll come back and I'll make some changes later on. Like I say, I'm not afraid to make changes, and I'm not afraid to go back and work over, so that will be no problem. You saw that in that picture that I did for Leonard, that I went back and made lots of changes in it. Now I know primarily where I'm going to put my water, so while I've got some of this, I'm going to try to connect together. So I'll put a little of it down here about where that reflection is going to be in that water, or where I think it will be.
Huh.
So I'll do that while I got that mixture there. And it would just be crazy not to utilize that. Put it to work there. Alright. So now, see, this pole is about where we're coming to, so this bank down below will be part of that, and we'll establish about where that will be in a few minutes. But anyway, I get that in. Now, let's go back and take a little bit more black, and oh, that's not the black. Get the black here. Yeah, there's the black. That's not going to hurt anything though. We'll mix a little yellow with it. Add a little bit of white to it. A little bit more yellow. And go back and set some color back in here just to represent that hill coming up there. That may be too dark or too light, but whatever. Let's just kind of pull that up like the tops of those trees way back there.
So you try to get it roughly the same color, but it doesn't really matter if it's exact.
It doesn't matter if it isn't, because you can come back and make changes. You will come back and make changes in it, you see. Cover your canvas well, though, so that you don't have that canvas showing through too much underneath, because that will be disturbing as you come on and try to balance the painting and get it going later on. So okay, so let's run a little bit of that same color up in here. You notice I'm not worrying. I'm just laying it on there as quick as I can get it on there, so that because that paint is starting to dry now, and I want to get it on so that when it does get stiffened up, why, I'll be beyond it. I won't be working there. On here. Now let's add just a little more of that black and alizarin to it. I'm going to just paint that in so that it's a little darker, so that when I start laying those trees over the top of it, I won't have any interference from the that's what I was talking about a little while ago. You have problems that are... Yeah, I put a little of that brown madder. Brown madder is the color that I'm using there. It's got some of the umber and some of the alizarin mixed together, and it's easier to keep it controlled if you buy it in the tube like that, you see, and use it out of the tube rather than trying to mix it. But it is a color that I could do without if I had to. Trunk up there, through there, pretty much about the way it's going to be, and you don't worry about that either. You just get the idea of it, and then let's see what we can do about, well, that one over there, that tree over there, I can't do them to the last, so I'll go back to the darks for a few minutes here and come back and pull some tree in here. It'll help to develop these trees, develop these out just a little bit more. Too much about them. Sometimes you have a hard line in a few places that you don't want to show, and you want to change the color just slightly, but some of these that are back in the distance, why, you can let those go just about the way they are, and they've got almost all the detail you want, because if you made detail the same all over, it'd get sickening, you know. And that's one of the things a lot of people don't realize. They think, boy, it looks so good back there, I'm going to put it all over. And when they put it all over, they ruin their painting. And that's one thing that you want to remember, that you don't want to work too fast on them. You want to lay them in, be precise at what you put on, but don't try to go too far. The minute you start going too far, why, you're going to ruin it.